I never planned for any of this to happen. If you had asked me 5 years ago where I saw myself, I would have said, a happy wife in a beautiful home, raising kids with a man I love. Got the house. Got the title. I even got the man. But I didn't get the happiness. I guess I should start from the beginning. My name is Clarissa, and I've been married to Jared for 6 years. We met in college, fell in love hard and fast, and were married by 25. Jared was everything I wanted. A strong, ambitious man with a gentle smile and a mind always 5 steps ahead. I loved him. Still do, in a way. But somewhere along the line, his ambition became his mistress. Work swallowed him whole. The first year of marriage was bliss. We traveled, had late-night conversations about our dreams, cooked together, even fought over silly things like who left the lights on. But slowly our lives diverged. He got promoted to a regional manager role at a logistics firm. Suddenly he was always gone. Conferences, meetings, trips, late-night calls. And even when he was home, he wasn't really home. He'd sit at the table, eyes glued to his laptop, answering emails during dinner. When I spoke, it was like talking to a ghost. My words would hang in the air like forgotten laundry. An intimacy. A distant memory. I can't remember the last time he really looked at me like he used to. That's where it began. Not with lust or desire, but with loneliness. A hunger for attention. A craving for someone to see me. It was a Friday afternoon, unusually hot for spring. I'd ordered a new set of curtains and a few decorative pieces online to distract myself, to beautify the house that had become more a museum than a home. The delivery arrived right on time. I opened the door to a tall man in a black polo and jeans. His cap turned backward, revealing warm hazel eyes and a boyish grin. "Package for Clarissa Fields," he said, holding up the box like it was treasure. "That's me," I replied. He handed it to me but paused. "You might want to lift with your legs. It's heavier than it looks." I laughed. "Thanks for the tip." That could have been the end of it. But then he looked me in the eyes, smiled a little and said, "You have a beautiful home." "Thanks. Just me in here most days." He nodded like he understood. "Well, if you ever need help setting up, I'm around. Name's Darren." He turned and left. And I don't know why I watched him walk all the way to his van. The next time I ordered something, intentionally this time, it was the same driver. Darren. We talked a little more. He asked about the plants on my porch. I asked how long he'd been doing deliveries. A few minutes turned to 10, then 15. I don't know what it was. Maybe the way he looked at me when I spoke, like he was actually listening. Jared was on a business trip in Chicago that weekend, as usual. The third delivery, Darren helped me carry a large mirror upstairs. I told him my husband was always working, and he said he knew what it felt like to be invisible in your own home. That struck something inside me. I offered him water, and he stayed a bit longer. He didn't try anything. He wasn't pushy. He was kind, respectful, and present. So incredibly present. We laughed, talked, and when he left, I sat on the couch and felt like I'd just had my first real conversation in months. Then came the fourth delivery. A lounge chair I didn't need. He was sweaty from carrying it in, and I offered him a cold drink. One drink became 2. We sat on the porch. The air was thick with spring heat and something else, something unspoken. His knee brushed mine and I didn't move. Neither did he. "I shouldn't be here this long," he said. "I shouldn't enjoy it this much," I replied. That's when it happened. Kiss. Gentle. Hesitant. But real. I pulled away, guilt rushing through me like ice water. I muttered something about being married. He apologized and said he understood. He left quickly. But I didn't stop thinking about that kiss. A week later, Jared left again. Some urgent matter in New York. I didn't order anything that time. Darren showed up anyway. Said he was checking on the chair. But we both knew that was a lie. We stood in the doorway, inches apart. And before I could talk myself out of it, I kissed him again. Longer this time. Deeper. That night we crossed every line. I wish I could say it only happened once, but that would be another lie in the pile. For nearly 3 months, I saw Darren. Not every day, but enough. He never stayed the night. We were careful. But in those moments, those stolen, messy, beautiful moments, I felt alive again. Desired. Wanted. But with every high came the crash. I'd lie awake in the bed I shared with my husband and feel like a stranger in my own skin. I didn't hate Jared. I hated that I felt like I needed someone else to feel whole. And yes, I blamed him. I know that's selfish. I know I made my own choices. But I kept thinking, would I have gone looking if he hadn't left me emotionally starving for so long? I tried to talk to Jared. Really. I told him I felt neglected. That I missed him. That we were drifting apart. He nodded, said he'd try to find more balance, and then went right back to his laptop. The next week he was gone again. That was when I realized I could scream in that house and still feel unheard. Eventually Darren ended things. Said he was catching feelings, and that wasn't part of the deal. He didn't want to ruin my marriage, he said. Funny how it already felt ruined. I cried for days. Not just for Darren, but for myself, for the woman I'd become. Someone I didn't even recognize. Someone who betrayed a vow she once held sacred. A few weeks ago, I sat Jared down and told him everything. The affair. The loneliness. The aching emptiness I'd tried to fill. I thought he'd yell. I almost wanted him to. But he just stared at me with eyes that looked more tired than angry. Why didn't you tell me sooner? He asked. I did, I whispered. You just weren't listening. We've been going to therapy now. It's awkward. Painful. Some days I feel like there's hope. Other days I feel like we're just putting fresh paint on rotting wood. I don't expect sympathy. I'm not the victim in this story. I made choices I have to live with. But if my story means anything, let it be a warning. Marriages don't fall apart in explosions. They crumble slowly, quietly, while no one's paying attention. And sometimes, all it takes is a delivery man to make you realize how empty your house has become.